I never thought silence could be so loud. Especially when it comes from someone you raised like your own. Emily came into my life when she was just 5. Her mom, Karen, and I had just started dating, and from the moment I met that little girl with her messy pigtails and shy smile, I knew she'd change my life. Her biological father, David, was more like a ghost than a parent, disappearing for years and reappearing with flimsy promises and hollow apologies. I stepped up, not for praise, not for recognition, but because I loved her. I was there for her first bike ride, for parent-teacher meetings, school plays, scraped knees, teenage mood swings, and every moment in between. She called me Dad before she even understood what that really meant. David showed up now and then, mostly on birthdays or holidays, only to vanish again. Each time, Emily would sit on the front porch, staring down the road long after he was gone. I'd wrap her in my arms and tell her, "I'm not going anywhere." And I never did. Fast forward 20 years. Emily's grown up, engaged, and glowing. She's marrying a great guy, and I couldn't be happier. She told me she wanted both her dads to be part of the wedding. I thought that meant I'd walk her down the aisle. After all, I'd walked beside her every day of her life. But then I saw the program. Father of the bride, David Walker. I stared at the name for what felt like hours. My own name, Michael Jameson, wasn't there. Not even a mention. My chest tightened, and when I asked her about it, she said something that gutted me. I thought it would mean a lot to him. He's trying now. I want to give him that. That? You mean my moment? The one I spent years earning with sleepless nights and unconditional love? I tried to hide my hurt, but it came rushing back in waves. And then came the blow that broke me completely. Emily asked David to walk her down the aisle. I didn't yell. Didn't argue. I just stood there, swallowing the kind of pain that doesn't leave bruises but cuts deeper than any wound. The day of the wedding arrived. I wore the suit Emily picked for me, stood beside Karen in the front row, and tried to smile. When Emily appeared in her gown, holding David's arm, my heart sank. She looked beautiful. But I couldn't focus on anything except the fact that it was him beside her, not me. Then came the moment that burned itself into my memory forever. At the altar, Emily handed David a note. The officiant read it aloud. To the Father who gave me life, and whose love never wavered, thank you for being there through it all. My breath caught in my throat. Never wavered? Was she rewriting history in front of 100 people? I sat there, frozen. Karen reached for my hand, but I couldn't feel it. At the reception, guests kept telling me how lovely the ceremony was. One even said, "David must be so proud. You can tell they've always been close." I couldn't take it. I stepped outside, stood in the cool evening air, and let tears fall quietly. Emily came out to find me later. "Dad," she began, "I hope you're not mad." I looked at her and saw a stranger in a familiar dress. "I'm not mad," I replied. "I'm heartbroken." She blinked, confused. "But I still love you, this was just about giving David a chance." "No," I said softly, "this was about giving him my chance." She didn't reply. Maybe she didn't know how. Since the wedding, we've barely spoken. She sends the occasional message. Cards. Texts. But something's broken now, something that can't be fixed with polite apologies. I loved her like she was my own because to me, she was. But love, I've learned, doesn't always get recognized. And sometimes, the deepest loyalty goes unrewarded. I wrote her a letter I never sent. Dear Emily. I was never your biological father. I didn't share your DNA. But I shared your life. Your tears, your joys, your milestones. I gave you everything I had, without ever asking for anything in return. Until one day, I needed you to choose me. And you didn't. That moment told me more than words ever could. Still, I want you to be happy. I'll always cherish the little girl who ran to me when she was scared, who made me a Father's Day card out of construction paper and glitter. That's the daughter I remember. And I'll always be the dad who stayed. Love. Michael.